Okay, let's talk about AI. It's everywhere, right? It's quietly making huge decisions about our lives. The job you get, the loan you qualify for, you name it. But as these super powerful systems get woven deeper and deeper into our world, we've got to stop and ask a really important question. And that's the thing, right? Right now, it's almost impossible to tell. We're pretty much just asked to trust them. But how can we be sure that trust is actually earned? To really get why that's such a big deal, we need to peel back the curtain and look at some of the hidden risks. The whole challenge really starts with how modern AI is built. I mean, its power is just immense, but that power comes with some serious blind spots that are getting harder and harder to ignore. You see, AI learns from the data we feed it. And while our data is a reflection of us, it's packed with all our historical and societal biases. So if you train an AI to screen resumes using past hiring data, it might learn to prefer certain candidates, not because they're better, but just because that's the pattern it sees. And the real danger? It doesn't just copy our flaws, it can amplify them at a massive scale. And this brings us to what's known as the black box problem. It's a huge one. In a lot of cases, even the engineers who created the AI can't tell you exactly why it made a particular choice. Data goes in, an answer comes out, but everything that happens in the middle is this tangled web of calculations that's nearly impossible to follow. That lack of transparency makes holding anyone accountable really, really tough. So what makes this whole situation even more critical is just the sheer speed of it all. This tech is not waiting around for us to figure things out. AI models are being rolled out everywhere. Finance, healthcare, you name it, at this incredible pace. And it's creating this giant gap between how fast we're deploying them and our ability to actually check if they're safe. So what on earth is the solution? I mean, you can't have a human manually check every single algorithm. It's just not possible. The answer, it turns out, is to build a system that can audit them for us, automatically. And that's the big idea right here, an AI ethics governance API. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a building inspector, but for software. You know, before a new skyscraper opens, an inspector checks the foundation, the wiring, the fire exits, all that critical stuff. This API does the exact same thing for an AI model, running a whole bunch of automated checks before it can affect anyone's life. This whole process really boils down to three key functions. First, it evaluates the model, testing it against known ethical standards. Second, it monitors the AI even after it's launched, because, a model that's fine today might drift and develop problems later. And finally, it can certify the model, giving it a clear stamp of approval that says, yep, this one's been checked and it's good to go. Okay, so that all sounds fantastic in theory, but how does an automated inspector for code actually work? Let's pop the hood and take a look at what this ethics engine is doing behind the scenes. It's a pretty clear four-step process. First, a developer submits their model and its data to the API. Then, the system just goes to work, running a whole battery of automated tests, using established tools to look for any risks. Based on all those results, a weighted engine calculates an overall ethics score. And finally, it spits out a detailed report with what it found and, crucially, how to fix it. Now, that final score isn't just one single metric. It's a carefully calculated score across these key dimensions. You can see fairness gets the biggest weight. Is the model treating everyone equitably? Then comes safety and robustness, like can it be easily tricked or broken? After that is transparency. Can we actually understand why it's making its decisions? And finally, it even considers the broader social impact. So, after all that number crunching and testing, the system creates something incredibly valuable. A simple, easy-to-read report card that basically tells you about the model's ethical health. Just look at this sample report. You can see a model's strengths and weaknesses in a single glance. So here, the robustness score is awesome. It's secure. But, its explainability score is pretty low, and the system gives a specific recommendation on how to fix that. The key thing is it doesn't just point out problems, it gives you a roadmap to make things better. And this isn't just some academic thing. These reports are built for the people who actually have to make decisions in the real world. Research teams can use them to build ethics in from the very beginning. Big companies can use them to avoid making really costly and embarrassing mistakes. And government regulators, they can use them to make sure that the AI being used in our public life is actually safe and fair for everyone. When you step back and look at the big picture, all these automated tests, these scores, these reports, they all serve one single overarching goal: to build real, verifiable trust between us and the algorithms that are supposed to serve us. I mean, the difference an auditing system like this makes is just night and day. Without it, we're stuck in a world of risky, opaque AI with biases running wild, and that naturally leads to low public trust. But with a system like this, we start moving toward a future where AI is certified, where it's safe, fair, and accountable, a future where we can actually trust the tech we depend on. And because the whole system is designed to be modular and flexible, it's not just for one specific kind of AI. We're talking about algorithms that decide on mortgages, ones that help diagnose diseases from medical scans, or even the ones that guide self-driving cars. This kind of framework can be adapted to make sure all of them are deployed responsibly. In the end, it really is about creating a standard of care for technology. It's about making sure that as we build these unbelievably powerful tools, we're building them to benefit all of us, not just a few. So I'll just leave you with this thought. Imagine a world where every single AI came with a report card you could look up, a report card for fairness, for safety, for transparency. A world where trust wasn't just a hopeful assumption, but something that was actually proven. What kind of future would you feel confident enough to build then?